video of Azure, I am going to tell about the organizing structure of the resources that are available on your Azure platform. Okay, so now if we see, whenever we go ahead and set up an Azure account, so it follows a specific hierarchy in which the resources are aligned in your Azure cloud system. Okay, so now the top level hierarchy would be your management groups, then comes your subscription, then you have the resource groups, and then we have the resources. Okay, so the policies whichever would be decided on the management group, that will get inherited to the various below structures whatever are defined in this particular structure. Okay, now let's see that what are these and how they are actually defined. Okay, so the first thing is your management group. So let's say if I remove it and let's say we focus on the management group. So this is the management group. So what is the management group that we are doing? So whenever we go ahead and create an account on the Azure, okay, so the first email ID from which the account gets created, okay, so that would be the top level administrator that will have the full privileges. Okay, so that will be the top level management group that would be used for controlling all your cloud hierarchy whatever you have created. Okay, so what happens, it will make sure that whatever email ID you are using, okay, so in case you are an organization, so someone on behalf of organization would be creating those specific accounts. So you have to create a Microsoft account, and then that will become your top level or the root account that will be used for the management. Okay, so what it helps, it will help, or the management groups will give you an enterprise grade management at a very large scale. Okay, and it doesn't matter what type of subscription you have, whether you have a free subscription or whether you have any paid subscription, it doesn't matter, the management group will always be there. Okay, so in a management group itself, so you can have a top level management group, and then you can divide that management group into various categories as well. Like let's say you are going ahead and defining a group for HR functions, some for finance functions. Okay, so these will be the different management groups that you might create, and then based on that you will create subscriptions based on these specific groups that you would have created. So it will go to the create subscriptions, so these functions will create their own subscriptions. Okay, now the important point is the management group. Okay, so the management group tree normally supports up to 6 level. Okay, and each management group or the subscription can only support one parent. Okay, you cannot have multiple parents. Okay, only one HR, so it can be aligned to only one management group. Okay. And in a single AD directory, active directory, 10,000 management groups can be created. Okay, so in a single AD directory, that the account that you have created, in that you can have 10,000 management groups that would be available. Okay, once the management group is created, okay, then the next thing before you can go ahead and use the Azure cloud portal would be your subscriptions. Okay, that will be your subscriptions that would be needed for your Azure platform to work. So what is a subscription? So subscriptions are basically used to provide you with an authorized and authenticated access to the products and the services. So whatever product services that whichever you are using, whether it's the resources or any specific service that you are using, that will be authorized and authenticated by the subscriptions only. Okay, and whenever a subscription is created, okay, so the billing will always be done individually for all the subscriptions. So in a management group, let's say if I have one management group, so you can have multiple subscriptions, and in those subscriptions what you can go ahead and see, you can simply go ahead and see that the billing for each subscription would be separate. So what happens in real time, if let's say we see, so let's say I create an Azure account. Okay, so to create an Azure account you need to use your credit card. Okay, only credit card will work. Okay, so credit card is used to authenticate that the person creating that account is genuine, and it has to be verified using the credit card. So with that credit card you create an account, and then once that account is created, then you have to align it to a particular subscription. Okay, so you can have multiple subscription, you can have subscription related to your various type of instances like your dev instances, your testing instances, your production instances. Okay, so it can be different subscriptions in a single account. Okay, so what it helps to make boundaries within the billing. So whenever the billing will be happening, so it will be built based on these specific subscriptions that you are having. So to limit and to make sure that okay, how much I am spending on my day, how much I am spending on my test, how much I am spending on my production environment or the live environment, so that can be built and easily determined using your subscriptions. Okay, so you can have the subscription based for different type of environments, different type of organizational structures. Okay, so that will help you for easily identifying, or even many times we create multiple subscriptions to find out okay how the billing are being done. So it is helpful for your billings as well. Okay, and remember, whenever you are creating that account, so with a particular account only one credit card would be used. So that means if you have used this credit card for this account, you cannot use the same credit card for recreating with a different mail ID. That credit card will be blocked by Azure, so you cannot go ahead and use it again when you are doing a free subscription. Okay, whenever I am doing a free subscription, I cannot use the same credit card again. Okay, so now let's see what happens here. So if you go to your azure.microsoft.com, you will get an option to have a particular type of subscription. Okay, so Azure provides you 12 months of free services. Okay, so that is a free subscription. Okay, without subscription or subscribing, your system will not work. Okay, now with 12 months of free service, what do you get? You will get 200 US dollar credits. Okay, so if there is a bill that is till the limit of $200, it will be used by this amount that is being credited to your amount. Okay, other than that, there are a few services that are always free as well, and there are some other services that are also free for 12 months, but only thing is those will be limited. Like you can have a VM with a very small amount of CPU and a RAM, but that will be available for 12 months. But this $200 would be the most important, that you can use within 30 days after the creation of the account. Okay, so you can have like multiple things. So for learning purpose, this $200 would be sufficient to go ahead and learn. Okay, so you can do a lot of different things on this Azure, and if you want to see, you can come to the azure.microsoft.com to find out what are the products that are free. Okay, you can have a virtual machines for 750 hours, and these are for 12 months free. Okay, but there would be limitation of how would be the computer capacity and how you are going to use it. But other than that, you have a subscription of pay as you go So if you want to buy a subscription, that will take you to the pay as you go model. Okay, so where you will say, okay, I am subscribing that, okay, whenever you are going ahead and provisioning any resources, whenever you are going ahead and creating any resources, that will be started, and it has to be built based on how much is the usage. So if you are using it for a specific time duration, it will be built, and once that is done and you close it, it will not be built. Okay, but here you are agreeing that you have to pay the amount, whatever amount will be charged, that will be charged on your credit card. But in the free model, remember, Azure will not, if you are going beyond $200, Azure will not charge your credit card, but it will actually suspend or deactivate your account, so that as soon as your limit goes beyond $200. Okay, so you will not be able to use the same account further, and even if you try to use the same credit card for a different account with a different email ID, it will not be working. Now next we have the resource groups and the resources. Okay, so whenever you are working on Azure cloud, you have to deploy certain resources, you have to use some VMs, some databases, some specific components that you need. So those are your resources. Okay, so that is a normal VM, storage or anything that will be called as resources. And once these resources are grouped together in a container, okay, so that container or that grouping will be called as your resource groups. Okay, so that means if I want to manage the whole resource group as one entity, so I can manage it via the resource groups. Okay, so resource group are mostly the fundamental elements of your Azure platform. Okay, and in that resource group you can create as many resources you want. So you can have multiple resource group, and in those resource groups separately you can have its own resources. Okay, so these resource groups can be used based on your logical parts. Let's say you want a separate resource group for databases, you want a separate resource group from the VMs and everything, so you can group it based on your logical grouping. Based on what type of grouping you want, you can create a resource group for that. But if you are deleting a resource group, if I am deleting a resource group, okay, so all the resources that are contained in this resource group, okay, are also deleted. Okay, so that will also get deleted. And then resource group can also be used for providing you the authorizations. Okay, so if I want to provide any specific role based authentications or role based access control, so what is called is RBAC, role based access control. So if you are applying any access control on the resource group, that will automatically inherit to the resources. Okay, so that will help you to easily manage the resources in the resource group. So these are the some important concepts in your Azure, so whenever you are working on. Now if you want to see what are the limitations, okay, if you want to see how many management groups you can have, how many resources you can have, how many subscription you can have, you can always try to refer the standard documentation for Azure. Those are the best one to have all the informations. So you will find the different limits, that what is the limits related to management group. Okay, how many subscription you can create in a management group are unlimited. Okay, what should be the hierarchy, the 6-level hierarchy, and how it can be managed. Okay, same way there will be limit for subscriptions, how many subscription can be there, how many co-administrator for the subscription can be present. Okay, how many resource group can be created, 980 resource groups can be created. Okay, so all those things, limits and its details, you can find it in this documentation.